When he met Abraha to negotiate the return of his camels, the conversation revealed a profound distinction between worldly authority and spiritual conviction. Abdul Muttalib calmly stated that while he was the owner of the camels and sought their return, the Kaaba had a lord who would protect it. It was not defiance rooted in military confidence, it was certainty rooted in faith. With no army to defend the sanctuary, the people of Makkah withdrew to the surrounding mountains, leaving the Kaaba seemingly exposed and vulnerable. From a worldly perspective, the outcome appeared inevitable. An armed force stood ready with advanced weaponry for its time, and before them lay an unguarded structure. Yet divine protection does not depend upon human calculation. As the chief elephant, reportedly named Mahmud, was directed toward the Kaaba, it refused to advance. Despite repeated attempts to force it forward, the animal knelt and would not move in the direction of the sacred house, though it complied when turned elsewhere. Then, in a scene that would be remembered for generations, flocks of birds appeared in the sky, each carrying small stones of baked clay. As described in Surah Al-Ful of the Quran, the stones struck the army with precise impact, causing destruction and chaos among the ranks. The once formidable force crumbled rapidly, its soldiers overwhelmed not by swords or spears, but by a punishment beyond their comprehension. What seemed like a defenseless sanctuary was under the protection. He was raised first by his mother, then by his grandfather, and later by his uncle Abu Talib after Abdul Muttalib's passing, experiencing the tenderness and hardship that would shape his character. His early life as an orphan cultivated within him empathy for the vulnerable and compassion for the marginalized. He grew up known among his people as Al-Amin, the trustworthy, long before revelation descended upon him. His honesty in trade, his gentle speech, and his dignified conduct distinguished him in a society marked by conflict and rivalry. The same city that had just witnessed Allah's protection of the Kaaba was now nurturing the one who would restore its true purpose, a child whose mission would transcend tribes, nations, and generations. The events of the Year of the Elephant were not merely a historical confrontation, they symbolized the dramatic collapse of arrogance before divine will. Abraha marched with confidence born of power, wealth, and military strength. He believed that numbers, strategy, and intimidation guaranteed success. His towering elephants were meant to embody dominance, to send a message that no sanctuary, no tribe, and no tradition could stand before his authority. Yet arrogance has always carried within it the seeds of its own downfall. The more a person relies upon their own might while ignoring the sovereignty of the Creator, the more fragile their foundation becomes. Abraha's army appeared unstoppable as it advanced toward Mecca, but what unfolded demonstrated that worldly power, no matter how impressive, a spiritual message that reaches far beyond the historical details of an army and a sanctuary. On the surface, it was an attempted invasion of Mecca by Abraha and his forces, but beneath that surface was a powerful reminder about divine authority, destiny, and the unfolding of Allah's plan. The Kaaba was not protected by walls or soldiers, it was protected by the will of the One who commanded the heavens and the earth. This event established a principle that would echo throughout Islamic history. When something is tied to the mission of Allah, its preservation does not depend solely on human effort. The sanctuary was central to the message that would soon be revealed, and before revelation even descended, Allah demonstrated that He alone safeguards His sacred trust. Spiritually, the event exposed the illusion of control that often deceives humanity. Abraha possessed resources, strategy, and military strength, yet none of these guaranteed success. His failure was not due to poor planning, it was due to divine decree. This teaches that outcomes are not shaped purely by visible means. People may calculate, organize, and prepare, but above every plan is a greater plan. The Quran later preserved this moment in Surah Al-Ful within the Quran, so that believers would remember that reliance upon Allah is not passive optimism, but a profound recognition of His sovereignty. Abdul Muttalib's statement that the house has a Lord who will protect it reflected deep spiritual awareness. When matters exceed human capacity,